So I was thinking about an illustration. I started out with this kind of metal, and this is what I've got so far. And this is what I've got, this foil coated rock that I'm going to stick on here, and I'm going to, you'll see how this develops. The foil is to keep the rock from getting spatter on it from the welder. But how do you go from this to this? You have to take your time. You can't be in a rush. I know it's not that big, see, compared to my, it's not that big, but there's a lot of steps, a lot of measuring, a lot of cutting. Then you're grinding and sanding. Then you tack it up. Then you got to weld it up. Then you got to grind all the welds off. Then you got to sand all this surface down. You can't have it looking like this. And all of the places where you welded it, where I welded it, those have to be ground down to where you don't see any of those seams. It just looks like one solid piece on the inside as well. How do you do that? You got to take your time. You can't be in a hurry. You have to know what you're doing. You have to have some training. Know your skill. You see where I'm going with this? This is analogous to your Bible study. If you just haphazardly shoot into your Bible, you're trying to read through it 5 times a year, you know, that kind of thing, and you're not taking your time to do it right, you're not studying, you're in a big hurry, you're going to make a mess of things. You're just going to fly through the Bible like certain people do that we know. Let's turn around so you're not just looking at a piece of metal all the time. You're not, you're going to be like certain people that go into the Bible and, oh, you just believe. You just believe. And you're so sloppy you don't see, oh, well, what did Paul say about that? Does Paul have a certain place where he explains how to apply the gospel? How does Paul say you're to get saved? What does he say the gospel is? All that sort of stuff. And you know the mechanism of the Bible well enough by taking your time, not being sloppy, going through the proper training, and understanding how the Bible actually operates. Then you come out with sound doctrine that's like this. See what I mean? Rather than, this is what you wind up with. Hey, here's my Bible study. Here's my doctrine. Ain't it nice? No, it's worthless. You know what this is worth? It's worth nothing. It's scrap. This will actually be worth something when I'm done with it. It'll be valuable. It'll be beautiful. And it will be worth something. If to no other person, it'll be worth a lot to me. So I guess you get the analogy. But and you could do the same with woodworking, or probably working with masonry or any other skill. You're either going to wind up with a mess, or you're going to wind up with something worth having that's valuable, and people recognize it as, oh, hey, that's really something. Or it's like, yeah, okay, so you don't want to be. All right.